Keith, not to play right, it's Kepi. And he was a slash sharp. You just know what your matchup is.
It's the Tuesday Sports pregame show. This is Tuesday Sports. Ernie Johnson here, joined by the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great Kenny Jackson. For tonight's game, we'll be watching the Los Angeles Lakers as they go up against the Indiana Pacers. Taking a look at the Pacers, 5-5 over their last 10 games, but they're not.
The Indiana Pacers find themselves on the road looking for an interconference win. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris and the pregame routines cowboy, and we're just about to... It definitely did, David. He won titles when he played for the Lakers. Now he'll try to bring that winning mindset back to LA. That will be something that has changed in the NBA over the course of your career is the role of the power forward. The four. More and more you need to be able to stretch the floor, take your guy outside, shoot the three, you feel. But that's a trend, or is that something you think that is here to stay in the NBA?
Well, yeah, I think things will evolve and things will change. I mean, you start getting power forwards like Tim Duncan and Garnett back in the league, Dirk. All of a sudden, it becomes less and less of a commodity to have smaller forwards.
Right.
Because you're going to need to deal with the Tim Duncans and the Garnetts of the world. So I think it's just a natural evolution thing.
Did you, when you had to guard a big like that, ever fear going out and trying to get him on the side or even working him inside the lane where he would have more power, more advantage?
No, I never worried about it too much. What I try to do is I always try to study the film and figure out what their tendencies are, what their sweet spots are, and you just try to get them off of that. It's not necessarily about the size of them, but how do you get yourself in a position where you can knock them off down a little bit and use the lack of size that you have to disorient them.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court right now for the Pacers. Corey Joseph is out there with Buddy Hield. Then it's Marcus Morris. Then it's Zach Randolph. And it's Turner in at the 5 down low. First free throw is good. And Kobe, you look around the league and you see a lot of former players as head coaches, guys that you actually played against. Have you ever thought about coaching down the line?
Nope. No, I have not. Not for me. It's for them, though, but it's not for me.
I would think that it would be tough to try to get the same result out of players you coach and not comparing it to the way you play, the way you prepared, the way you were coached.
That's what I hear. I just don't have the desire to even think about it that far. I mean, it's not something that I'm into. But that's the challenges I hear. When Bird was coaching, when Magic was coaching, I always hear that as being a challenge. But ultimately, you have to find different ways to motivate players. And, nobody's the same, right? So you just try to have to figure out how to get them to their highest level. But still in all, coaching is just not for me.
Here's Morris, 11 feet out, and he hits it. Kobe, you were a player who lived in the gym. What motivated you as you go back and look at all those hours you spent in the gym to do that, to follow that path?
I loved it. I loved the game. It wasn't a matter of working hard. I didn't realize I was working hard until like my second or third year in the league, when I realized here in the NBA, a lot of players don't do that.
Right.
It was kind of a big shock to me. Like I assumed everybody in the NBA
just worked hard.
Yeah, but to me it wasn't hard work. It was like, I love doing this. Like there's no place on earth I'd rather be than be here in this gym with a basketball in the hoop.
But the greats are always the hardest workers, aren't they? I mean, right, have you ever seen a great player who was not the hardest worker on their team?
No, I've seen players have great seasons. And, and then the next season, it's not so much. Right. And then they have another great one. And the consistency isn't there. Mm-hmm. The truly great players love what they do. And that looks like hard work to the outside world.
Did you enjoy playing the game? There was so much you put into the game, but did you enjoy the game?
I did. I enjoyed the game. I loved playing, the competition and all that, the getting ready and all that. But I enjoyed practice more.
Did you?
I did. I enjoyed training and practice more than I did the game.
Left side, Randolph. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Randolph's got his first basket. And after 20 years in the NBA, Kobe, you were able to play with so many teammates. Can you make a short list of some of your favorites over the years?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Pau Gasol for me. Derek Fisher.
And a quality person.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, right.
And Derek Fisher, Ronnie Turioff is one of my all-time favorites. Lamar Odom, Shaq, obviously, Robert Horry, Rick Fox. I mean, I've been very fortunate to play with some great teams. Horace Grant, A.C. Green. I mean, let's go. Ron Harper. I mean, I can go on and on all day long. Brian Shaw. I mean, I was very fortunate to have some really good teammates.
And the Lakers making a change here. Monroe's checked in. You know, Kobe, the league seems to be moving away from isolation basketball, sometimes called hero ball, in favor of more ball movement, more of a fluid offense. What do you make of that trend?
Well, I think it's the right thing. I mean, if you look at the way the Knicks played, for example, when they had Bill Bradley, Busher, Phil was coming off the bench.
Well, you are a historian. You love the history of the game, don't you?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I can just tell working with you.
Yeah. Holtzman was coaching. You had Frazier out there. I mean, they moved the ball. I mean, everything was predicated on ball movement, as was the Celtics with Brett Auerbach. And then in the 80s, things changed a little bit. We started going to more isolation ball, where guys would post deep and force the double coverage to come all the way down to him, and then you start moving the ball around. Now you start seeing a spread offense, where the ball's moving again like it was when the Knicks were playing, and the Celtics were playing. And so, I think
Marcus.
It just depends on the style of defense that you're seeing and the personnel that you have. I think that determines your style of play.
That's his bread and butter. Randolph, a beast on the boards.
You look back to the final game as a player, Kobe, all the emotion that was building up for that moment. Then you go out and score 60 points. Surreal moment. Did you ever think for any moment that maybe I've got 1 year left in the tank after that 60-point performance?
You know what? It wasn't a matter if I had another year in the tank. It was just, I just don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, I wake up in the morning, my body's sore. You know, that 60-point game was everything I had left for that year, and to be able to have to like reboot that and reset the system all over again, no thank you.
People don't see that side of it, do they?
No, they don't. But you know, it's just nor do we want them to. Right? We want them to appreciate being entertained and coming to a game and taking their mind off of whatever it is they want to take their mind off of. It's an opportunity for them to escape, and that's what we provide. So that's completely fine.
Well, Kobe, you look at all the former Defensive Player of the Year, and they're almost always big men. You were a 9-time first-team all-defensive selection in the NBA. Do you think guards sometimes get overlooked at the impact they have in a game and a play?
Yeah, they definitely do.
All the time, huh?
I think the bigs have a huge responsibility in protecting the rim, and those things are very easy to measure.
Right, block shots and exactly. Rebounding,
altering shots or defensive rebounds. For guards, it's tougher. But still in all, there's some guards out there who have done it. You know, Michael and Gary Payton and, you know, Kawhi Leonard, I count him as a guard. You know, they're just phenomenal defensive players.
Where does that mindset come from, that defensive mindset, when you're an offensive gifted player like yourself?
Well, I think that's a truly competitive person. You know, some players will call themselves competitive, but you're not truly competitive if you only compete at one end of the floor. That's not what true competitive people do.
Swing by Monroe. Lillard with no one around. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
No, this guy, his motor is always the same. No matter what the score of the game is, he always remains aggressive.
And Kobe, you played for a handful of coaches during your career. When you look back on it, was there one coach you wished you could have played for but didn't have maybe a chance to play for?
Greg Popovich. That's an easy one for me. Although I did play for him in several All-Star games.
Yes, you did.
And one particular All-Star game in practice, he came up to me and said, okay, do you want me to just kind of go through like a whatever practice, or do you want me to do the real thing? I said, Pop, you got to do the real thing, because I've been dying to see what really goes on inside these Spurs practices.
Oh,
you
my gosh.
You got to give us a real practice, man.
Yeah.
And he did. And Tim just kind of looked at me and was like, dude, seriously?
What are you doing?
Come on, you're killing me.
So what was a Popovich practice like for you, and how did you try to set the tone?
It was high energy, and we moved from drill to drill, and it involved a lot of passing and moving and spacing. And so all of the shooting, it wasn't any individual shooting. You know, all the individual shooting took place within a 5-man offensive structure, a ball movement, a passing and cutting, and all of a sudden your shot comes here in the corner, and then you slide up to the next line, and you know, you dribble, penetrate, and kick it, and then you slide to the next line, dribble, penetrate, kick. Right? So it involved constant movement, where you're constantly training and conditioning the body that you're not just going to pass and stand and be a participant, right? You're going to be involved into that, in the action, not going to be a passive participant.
Well, think about the high ceiling that this kid Brandon Ingram has. I mean, with his long arms, I mean, he could reach the rafters.
Well, Kobe, something that's such a huge tool in the NBA and the team's offense is the pick and roll, the screen roll game. You've done it as well as anybody. Just how are the nuances and the attention to detail important to make that play work?
Well, it's really important, but the screen roll today is run differently than it was, say, when Utah was running it with Stockton and Malone. What you're seeing now is more of a spread floor screen roll action, where it makes rotations very difficult because you have to rotate off of shooters at a distance.
Right.
So now what you tend to see more teams try to down pick and roll coverages and sending guys to one side of the floor and try to play the screen roll coverage with 2 men and try to not have 3 guys in the action where you have to rotate and now push your team behind. Right, and that it's a dance of, can you play the screen roll with just 2 guys? And on offense, can I force you to have a 3rd guy come in and rotate? If I can do that offensively, then you're behind.
And over the course of your career, Kobe, 5 NBA championships. Are there any of those that really stand out among the 5 that you accumulated?
The last one, beating the Celtics. That was the hardest one by far to get.
Why so?
Well, you know, we're going into Boston now with the series tied 1-1. And Boston is absolutely excited about having the split and going home now and having 3 games at home, thinking that the series was not going to come back to LA. And so that was an interesting playing fight for us. And then to go out and get the very next game, just to go down 3-2, coming back to LA, and then to finally pull out that series after being down 15 in the 4th quarter against the Celtics. That gave you better, man.
For a guy like yourself who made an incredible amount of 3-point shots during your career, what is it like watching Steph Curry? Just how much has he changed the league? It was always watching the dunks of Jordan. Now we got kids that want to shoot the ball from distance.
Yeah, shooting the ball from distance now has kind of become like a home run in baseball, right? Where it's exciting to watch the ball in flight. I think it's great because it just adds more love to the game, more things that players could do or kids can do that can't dunk. Right? It's like dunking was the thing, right? But now the kids that can't dunk, there's something else that's fun, something else that's entertaining, like shooting threes. Right? So
boy, that takes a lot of work. Huh?
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, it's a lot of repetition.
Hundreds of shots daily.
Yeah, it's a lot of repetition. I mean, you know, Steph, you watch him out there playing and making all these shots. He's put in hours and hours and hours of hard work to continue to do so.
Heel dishes to Turner. Shoots over Monroe. The shot by Turner, no good.
That's a great job to converge on him inside and prevent that easy look.
And stolen by Cauley Stein. Brooks outside. Now here's Hield. He's guarded closely. Napier kicks to Brooks. 5 on the clock. From 17 feet out, the Pacers getting another chance here. Back to Hield. Here's Napier, covered by Lillard. Napier kicks to Cauley Stein. On the wing, Hield. Floats one, makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game. With that 3-point shooting on the rise, Kobe, if you were coming into the league right now, would you try to lean more in that direction than the incredible acrobat that you were when you were in your prime?
It depends who I was playing against. You know, I try to build my game to be able to do all those things.
And you could. I mean, you're like one of the few guys that could do all that.
Yeah, so it just depends on who I was matching up against, which determines then how I would try to punish the defense.
I like that word.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a softer one. I was like, no, punish is a good one.
You're honest. Kobe, you've made no bones about patterning your game after Michael Jordan. You watched him while growing up. Can you give us a little insight into the impacts of what he meant to you and how he formed you in some ways?
Sure. Well, yeah, I think most players growing up, at least my generation, probably watched them play and saw all of the fancy plays, the dunks, the highlights, and things of that nature. What I focused on was how he got there. The moves, the timing, the fundamentals, the spacing, the rhythm. That's what I studied meticulously. And so when I watched him play, I think I watched him play a little differently than others. Having not gone to college and all these other things, growing up overseas, I had to learn the fundamentals by watching and observing the greats, and it's the most minute details.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
And don't forget about the good hand-eye coordination. I mean, he almost corralled it in for the steal.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Spates checked in for Ingram. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Ball. Indiana also making some changes. Lamb comes in for Brooks, and J.J. Redick is subbed in for Hield. Napier kicks to Cauley Stein. Over in the corner, Lamb. Cauley Stein with a screen on Monroe. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J. Lamb's got his first bucket in this one. There's 18 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Lillard with it. 32 points for him last game against Oklahoma City. Shoots over Reddick. Here's Monroe. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Lakers lead by 1. We've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game, just a matter who can catch that momentum.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Lakers lead by 1. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And J.J. Redick, a focal point in his tenure with the...
I think I'll forever be associated.
There's no doubt that he is Mr. Duke, J.J. Redick, and it's hard to argue with that school's incredible success, Greg, whether you like him or not. And I know you've had a first-hand view of Duke a couple times.
And listen, I have the utmost respect for JJ and Coach K and what they've done there. And listen, you could be known for a lot worse things in your life and haven't gone to a lot worse places. But I think for him, it's not about where he's been, Kev. I think it's about where he's going and what's going to be the next chapter in his career.
Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
I mean, you saw it. That barrage of threes has them grooving here after one.
Well, there's not enough defensive pressure on the perimeter. We'll see in the second quarter if that gets correct.
On the court for the Pacers as our second quarter gets underway. Miles Turner out there with Willie Cauley-Stein. Then there's J.J. Redick, then it's Jeremy Lamb, and it's Napier in at the 1. Rondo passes to Lillard. Basket is good. The assist from Rondo. Lillard's got the lead up to 3 now for Los Angeles. For Indiana, they come into this one following a loss to the Trailblazers. Hey, Kobe, in recent years, we've seen a lot of players choosing in free agency to join up, join forces, join friends, other talented players. Think of Durant and Golden State, the big 3 with LeBron going down to Miami. What are your thoughts on that trend?
Well, everybody's got to do what they feel is best for them. Personally, it wasn't really my cup of tea. I'd much rather compete against those guys and do it that way. And so they're part of the process. They feel connected to the process. But traveling and things of that nature is very, very hard because there's been plenty of birthdays that I've missed and school plays that I've missed.
Morris passes to Reddick. With the teardrop, they get it again. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here. Now let's check out the rebounds and where they're coming from. Here's a breakdown showing the front court and the back court rebounding numbers for the Pacers.
Well, you love seeing the backcourt stay active and putting that speed and quickness to use on the glass. They've gotten a lot of rebounds and helping to do whatever they can for the win.
And some changes here for the Lakers. Julius Randle comes in for Maurice Spates. And Ball subbed in for Damian Lillard. The Pacers also with a sub. Randolph is checked in. There's the screen. Randle kicks to Vucevic. It's stolen by Morris. Joseph against Rondo. Morris with a screen on Rondo. On the wing, Lamb. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Standing just over 6'5" with a 6'11" wingspan. Yeah, Lamb can be a difficult guard to defend when he sneaks inside.
Rondo dishes to Vucevic. Over Randall. And no good. Trying to use the glass. And you look at the NBA today and the social media, Kobe, a lot easier for NBA players to connect with fans over that social media platform. However, it's also easier to get people in trouble. Players have got to keep that periscope up, so to say. How hard do you think that is to manage?
Well, I think now in this particular generation, the sensitivity towards things you may hear or see on social media is much different than it would have been years ago. In other words, nowadays for athletes to be on social media, it's more easily tolerable for them to say something, right? Or to be able to speak their mind.
Yes.
And I think the important thing is just the consistency in that. If you have a thought and you want to say it, say it. Right? Put it out on social media. Do whatever it is that you want to do with it. The key is just to be consistent and be who you are, not be afraid to be who you are.
Look at this. I like this. Team basketball. Keeping the ball moving until they find the right shot.
Rondo passes to Vucevic. Back to Rondo. Kick by Vucevic. Shoots off the screen. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Joseph. And a wide open look for Lamb. Here's Randolph. Vucevic with the block. Rondo with the ball. Now guarded by Reddick. Nice shot by Rondo. Rondo's got his first 2 points. So I think for players, Kobe, when they've been criticized on social media, I think they feel it's better to sleep on a reply and see if that same thought still resonates the next morning. Because a lot of in the heat of a post game, you read something, guys go off.
Yeah, they do. And at the same time, when that does happen, because it's going to happen, no matter how many times we say it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when it does happen, to be able to step back and say, okay, yeah, that's how I felt in the moment. And I said what I felt.
Yeah.
And here's why I felt that way. And now you're ready to move on. I mean, it's a lot like life. I mean, people say stuff all the time that they don't necessarily mean, right?
I never felt, though, that you ever said anything that you truly did not believe in your heart.
Yeah, well, I think most people do, right? When you're having a moment, you're looking at it, you say, you know what, should I send this on social media? Yeah, I really, really believe this. I really, really do. And then you send it, and the next morning you're like, oh, no, what did I do? What?
You had no regrets, though.
No, I mean, everything's a life lesson for me.
For all of us.
Yeah.
Well, you got to play against some great defenders in the NBA, like Draymond Green of Golden State and others. What are some of the things that, I mentioned Draymond Green, that he does as a player that you think separates him from the rest of the defensive guys in the league?
He does his research. He does his homework.
You can tell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can tell. When you watch him play, he puts himself in position before the offensive player even attacks. And how does he know that? Because he's watching film. He studies. He knows the player's tendencies. And so when you mix in the research to go along with his frame and the quick hands and the foot speed, then you have a defensive player that's a force.
You know, Kobe, you played 20 years in the NBA. Sports medicine and training becoming increasingly important for extending careers, keeping guys on the floor. How far has that science come in the time from you when you entered the league until the time that you retired last year?
Well, it helped me play 20 years.
Yeah, right.
You know?
But different methods all the way, huh?
Different methods all the way. I mean, it's when I first came in the league and understanding what sports medicine was at the time and the research on recovery, and as the years went on, more science research started coming out on the benefits of contrast therapy, of ice baths, and surgical procedures. Like, you know, if I would have ruptured my Achilles years ago, I never would have come back from it. You know, now, you know, my Achilles, even as I sit here today, it's like I never hurt it.
No kidding.
It's amazing.
And Redick, here we go. Redick can't get that one to fall.
Well, he's having a tough go at it so far this quarter. Not much dropping for him.
Paul with a wide open look. And another three for the Lakers.
But he was off in the first, but he found a way to get his shot going here in the second.
And Kobe, in your opinion, what's been the common thread for all these advances in sports medicine?
I think it's the minds. It's the minds of people in medicine that are constantly pushing the industry forward. And, you know, it's our responsibility and the team's responsibility to find these great minds and turn them loose, right? And trust them with the process, trust them with your athlete. But the key is you have to find the right ones.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Monroe comes in for Nikola Vucevic. And it's Brandon Ingram in for C.J. Miles. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Marcus Morris. Brooks comes in for Lamb. Fields checked in for J.J. Redick. And Shabazz Napier subbed in for Joseph. Here's Randall, and there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two. And Indiana called for the foul.
Oh, the big body, the way Randall moves, draws a lot of fouls.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as he'd like.
Pacers trail by 11. Here's Napier. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. He kicks to Randolph. They need this one. And he makes the bucket through contact and gets the whistle too.
The strength and the outstanding hands of Randolph, enabling him to hoop through the harm.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. He throw good, Randolph. 1:12 left in the first half of the game. And we'd like to thank you for stopping by, Kobe. Hope you come back and join us again.
I definitely will. I had a great time, man. Thank you for having me.
You know, Greg, it's amazing to think back on Kobe's career, but to hear the perspective and context in a broadcast setting like this, it's an awful lot of fun, isn't it?
It really is. And you know, the depth of knowledge from the kind of career Kobe has had, the ups and downs, and the wisdom gained through that experience really shows in him as a person, not just a basketball player. He's one of the truly special people who've given so much to the game of basketball.
Puts one up from 19, off the left rim and out. Los Angeles leading by 10. Randall kicks to Rondo. The quick look, no good that time.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
The Pacers have gone 4 for 5 for the charity stripe in this one up to now. No good on that one.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
That's off as well, so he misses both.
And really, as solid as he's been at the line, I had already chalked those points up. Goes to show you, though, don't take anything for granted.
Back to Randall. Pass the ball. Monroe left side. Shoots over Turner. Used the shot fake to create the angle, but couldn't get it to fall. And so that's the end of the first half.
Kevin, thanks. Nick, what changes?
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Damian Lillard has been having a big night. He ended up with 24 points and 1 assist. Coming off a great game last time out, he's turning it up a notch already here tonight. And taking a look at the Lakers. And that will...
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. We're seeing a tremendous... Chris, during your career, you always had incredible footwork in the post. Who are some of the bigs that impress you with their footwork? Today.
Oh, wow. I think you have to look down in New Orleans. I mean, they have two great examples in Cousins and Davis, two guys that can dance with the best of them. You look at Minnesota and that young fella Cat there, the way that he plays and moves his feet and how he handles it in the post, you have to love it. But I love where the big men are today because they have great footwork. They have the skill set of the small guys and still use their size. But those three come to mind right now.
It's not a lost art either. I think guys realize that their footwork is sometimes their ticket to a good career.
They're better, and if not, they need to open the basketball history books and look at guys like Akeem Olajuwon and Kevin McHale, two of the best ever with footwork. And that's why, you know, it's fun growing up playing other sports because it prepares you for basketball. It prepares you having the footwork and having to be a big guy but still being light on your feet.
The young pair of Ingram and Randall are at the forwards. Damian Lillard out there with ball, and it's Vucevic in at the center position. That's the Laker 5.
Yeah, and Ball jumps all over the defense, especially when they give him a lane to the basket. Outstanding at forcing the issues.
And, you know, so often we hear about a player coming out as an elite athlete. But Lonzo Ball is an elite basketball brain. I mean, this guy sees everything on the court. A terrific passer, but more importantly, he's a guy that players like playing with. He really approaches the game like a 10-year vet. I tell you what, it's scary when you think about how much room Ball has to grow when you factor in how efficient he is already.
Randolph kicks to Turner. Picked by Randolph. Just 3 to shoot. Healed, can't hit. And with Lonzo Ball, you've heard all the comparisons to Jason Kidd as how he plays and views things as if it's a chess match. Greg, pretty good company to be in.
I tell you, that just shows the lofty expectations Ball has been saddled with, and he's the ultimate team player and plays to win. There are questions about his game, but what I always say is the fact that the players he plays with tend to play their best basketball, which I think is a reflection of his game. Second chance points have really been an issue here defensively.
For Indiana, they have shot just above 55% of the line, going 5 of 9.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Well, the Lakers are enduring the worst 5-year stretch in the franchise's history. They missed the playoffs in consecutive seasons only once, and that was back in the mid-'70s. Last season, their 4th straight in the line.
With the floater, and he lays it up and in. Ball's got 11.
And how clever is this guy? I mean, just no fear going with the soft, high-arcing floater.
Randolph goes in. Basket good. 15 points in the game. And the Lakers have always considered themselves a championship or bust type of franchise.
Well, that mentality runs up against the reality of their situation. They seem to have accelerated the process with some draft fortune and free agent signings. And then especially with Magic coming back, you know the magic is back. This upcoming offseason will be a big one for them.
Spates checked in for Vucevic. Joseph against Lillard. Now here's Joseph. Defense right on him. Randolph kicks to Morris. And the layup's good off the glass.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
For Indiana, they come into this one following a loss to the Trailblazers. Important.
I mean, frustrating when missed free throws become contagious. Really, the Achilles heel in that one.
You're sad when you're aggressive enough to draw the fouls, but just not enough touch to cash in at the line.
Ball, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. Ball's got 6 here in this quarter.
They've leaned on him tonight, and he's delivered with some great shooting.
Lillard against Joseph. He feeds it to Hield. Back to Joseph. Indiana moving it around. Randolph kicks to Hield. Morris dishes to Turner. Rebound the Lakers. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
And typically on the road, it's harder to get into a great rhythm offensively, but they did just that.
Well, extremely accurate throughout the evening. I thought the play call, they really fit the lineups they were rolling out.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Lillard against Joseph. And there's the pass to Hield. It's blocked.
Not really blessed with the length to be a big-time rim protector, but Randall gets most of his blocks by playing with energy.
Pass to Lillard. There's the feed to ball. Picked by Randall. Lillard from outside. Unable to get that one. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way. After this one, they're off to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. That will conclude a 5-game road trip for them. And Joseph kicks to Hield. 6 to shoot. Turner with a screen on Lillard. That one's good. The Laker lead is cut down to just 6 points on the bucket from Joseph.
Oh, just a brick wall of a screen. Knocks the defender out of the play.
Now Lillard. He's got 24. He dishes it to Spates. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard. Lillard's got 3 assists in the game. Pacers trail by 9. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Feeds it to Hield. On the wing, Morris. Randolph passes to Hield. To the paint. And Turner kicks to Hield. Stolen by Ball. And here's the fast break. Ball leading the way. The shot, no good. The Pacers have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. On the wing, Hield. With some arc, and the layup is good. Hield's got 13.
Love the confidence from Hield. He likes going to the floater when the D is giving him room to shoot it.
Here is Lillard. He is a solid producer, averaging nearly 22 points a game. The shot by Spates. Nobody around. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, that's because they made a concerted effort to get the shooters involved. Now they've built up the confidence.
Timeout called the Pacers. And Chris, you've been working as an analyst now for quite some time. Do you feel that how you view and enjoy the game has changed as you've transitioned from being a player on the floor to the booth?
You know what? I've learned a lot, and I've learned to look at the game a different way, but I look at the game the same way. I think the onus is on the player to execute what the coach and the GM puts out there for you to do, for you not to become a one-dimensional player, for you to improve in the summertime. That's the only time you can improve. And when you don't come back and you don't improve, it's obvious that you have the same glaring weaknesses that you had the year before. Even if you're not on the team that can compete for a championship, you want to make sure that you compete for a championship, that you compete for an all-star, that you compete to have your name out there. And so a lot of times we'll watch some of those teams, and I love seeing that they compete or if they laid it down early in the season. So, no, I would say that really what gives me an advantage is that the way that I looked at the game, and hopefully, you know, that gives me a unique perspective when I'm out there trying to talk to other basketball heads like myself.
Now, here's Ball, covered by Reddick, and the slam dunk by Spates.
Yeah, how about the vision there by Ball, showing the unselfishness, just being a willing passer.
Now, here's Joseph. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. And Turner kicks to Morris. There's the dish to Lamb. Shot clock at 5. Shot from free throw range, and the Pacers can't get it to go.
Something affected him on that shot, and it wasn't the defense.
And Lillard kicks to Ingram. Spade sets a screen for Ingram. Off the screen, and the Lakers tack on 2 more.
And for taller players, the mid-range shot will be there. Ingram well served to knock it down.
Pacers trail by 14. And Joseph kicks to Lamb. Passes it to Turner. Morris outside. No good. They had a chance to end the run there.
He's not the only one to blame for them being behind, but he hasn't helped their cause much.
Spates sets a screen. Lillard dishes to Spates. It's stolen by Lamb. And they're pushing it up. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Lamb's got 8 points.
Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. Spates sets a screen. Ingram passes to Spates. And he gets it to go. Spates has got the lead up to 14 now for the Lakers.
Well, Ingram played some point guard in high school. Right there you see he's showing off his passing skills.
And Joseph kicks to Morris. Dishes to Lamb. Back to Morris. Turner with a screen on Miles. Here's Morris. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And when Marcus Morris gets a defender in a one-on-one situation, Greg, he feels the most at home.
And part of that might be from going up against his twin brother all the time when they were young. Marcus Morris has a great knack to find a shot he likes. Terrific with his mid-range.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Monroe's checked in for Spates. Vucevic comes in for Brandon Ingram. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Ball. The Pacers also changing it up. Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Miles Turner. Brooks comes in for Lamb. And it's Napier in for Corey Joseph. Inside. Outside for Reddick. And stolen by Lillard. Poked away. And stolen by Reddick. Brooks against Miles. The drive by Brooks. Shoots over Miles. And the Pacers can't get it to go. Lakers leading by 13. Here's Rondo. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. One, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And two, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. He needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with him. And really, as recently as 2014, the Pacers were a team with that old-school front court. Some tall timber inside, and they played that slow, methodical pace. They have revamped the roster, looking to space the floor and really fire it up on offense.
And the Pacers now looking to revamp how they approach things. The rebuild is on, it would appear.
Yeah, and a good time to do it when they saw Paul George would be leaving. Won't be easy to make the transition, but the Pacers do have a good collection of young talent.
4 on the clock. Vucevic with the block.
And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Here's Miles. This is his first free throw of the game.
And what a season he's had at the foul line thus far. 86% from the line.
And Chris, the team you spent the most time with in your career, the Sacramento Kings, what was it like playing in a smaller market? And do you think that's changed for star players today?
You know, I love playing for the city of Sacramento and the fans. Because we were a small market, I think we had some of the most passionate fans that I've ever seen in the NBA. But it was also tough, especially playing on the West Coast. You're the second or the late game on the East Coast. Many people don't see you. You don't have necessarily the support of everyone else because you're not in the largest city. So it definitely could be tough. But when you're playing a team like the Lakers or you're playing other Goliaths, you love it and you embrace that small David type aspect. And so I do think it's changed because of social media. I do think it's changed because of the internet and specifically the apps that you can now go into the locker room before and after the game. You can get a guy's thoughts right after he made a big shot or missed a big shot. And so I think if you would have had those tools, maybe it'll be different. But I think now definitely it really doesn't matter what market you play in. I mean, we were a small market at that time, but look, since it's been the OKCs and other teams that kind of have made everybody excited about basketball. So I don't think market plays that big of a part as far as your exposure and how much fans get to see you anymore.
Good overview. Napier lays it up off the glass.
Oh, and when Cauley-Stein is cutting to the hoop after the screen, his teammates are doing their best to get him to rock. He is so good at finishing as the roller after the pick.
Monroe sets a screen for Rondo. And Vucevic kicks to Monroe. And Craig Monroe with the slam.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Pass to Redick. Brooks against Miles. Stolen by Monroe. And here we go. Rondo heading to the hoop. Finished off the break. Rondo's got his third basket of the night right there.
Yeah, always had great instincts defensively. Rondo using that length there to come up with the steal.
Napier dishes to Redick. There's 45 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. And Rondo sends it back.
Well, you forget sometimes how much of an impact Rondo can have defensively there, showing off some superb vertical as he goes up for the block.
Zach Randolph is checked in for Marcus Morris. There's 38 seconds left here in the third quarter. Brooks with the bucket.
I don't think they were expecting that shot. They didn't really make an effort to get out on him.
Screen by Monroe. Three-pointer, Lillard. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Lillard's got 27 points. Pacers trail by 16. Here's Napier. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Kicks it to Cauley-Stein. There's a good screen. 4 on the shot clock. Nice shot by Randolph. Randolph's got 4 points now in the quarter.
He earns his keep with his physicality and his touch with the basketball. Randolph getting it done.
And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. Their work from beyond the arc has been a highlight. A lot of threes finding the bottom of the bucket. Back to the action after this word. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Lakers leading by 14. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. They've got Cauley Stein. Buddy Hield is out there with J.J. Redick. Then it's Zach Randolph. And it's Brooks in at the 3, the small forward.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Cauley Stein, a screen. Randolph, a screen on Lillard. Out to Brooks. The tray, and the Pacers another 3.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Lillard, the pass to Monroe. Kicks it out to Lillard. Screen by Monroe. Pulls it from the elbow. Banked in off the glass. And the Lakers lead by 13.
And you gotta clog up any passing lanes around ball, especially in that pick and roll. He knows how to slice the D apart in those sets.
Brooks kicks to Randolph. Rebound by Monroe. Monroe's got his 6th rebound on the night. Miles with it. Outguarded by Hield. Lillard dishes to Vucevic. Tries again. That ball is good for another field goal. His 6th. He is 6 for 9 on the stat sheet.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Now here's Hield, guarded closely. A rebound by the Lakers. Lillard, the pass to ball. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. And Damian Lillard hit the jam.
Gotta always know where Lillard is on the floor. Great offensive player who can score from anywhere.
Pacers trail by 17. And Redick kicks to Randolph. Now here's Hield. He's guarded closely. Down low. And Randolph with the basket on the assist from Redick. 19 points for Zach Randolph.
Right in his wheelhouse. Randolph putting in work in the paint.
Screen by Monroe. From beyond the arc. Ball no good. The Pacers have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Outside Randolph. Some nice passing here by Indiana. Craig Monroe with the rebound. Los Angeles leading by 15. And stolen by Redick. Now here's Hield. Not a lot of room. And Buddy Hield, just one of those players who can hurt you on offense in so many ways. Has the shot, but also is comfortable finishing in traffic and at the rim.
Look, when he's going, he can put up big numbers. Hield's ability to find points through different means is why he's a high upside scorer. Great all-around offensive game.
Two shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And the Lakers have picked second in the draft now for 3 consecutive years. Out of all the players they've acquired, Chris, who do you think has the chance to be the best? Ingram or Ball?
Well, I definitely like Ingram. I think his upside, his potential, his athletic ability. He's wiry. They played him a little at point last year. His rookie season wasn't dominant, but that doesn't mean anything. I really like his game. But I really like Alonzo Ball. I think he brings that talent and leadership. I think he has the talent to become that franchise player. Forget what I think. Magic thinks that.
Three-pointer, Lillard. A three-pointer is right on target. Lillard's got 5 points now this quarter.
And he got loose from the three-point range in the first half and showing signs here that he's still got the flow in the second.
And the Pacers call time here. And when you look at Damian Lillard, Rookie of the Year back in 2013, tremendous confidence from day one.
A quiet assassin who carries himself with humility. He lets his game do the talking.
Turner, he's checked in for the Pacers. A look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. And Joseph kicks to Randolph. That shot is good. He's taken 15 and made 10 from the field tonight.
Doing what he does best, Randolph getting after it tonight.
Lakers leading by 14. Picked by Vucevic. Ingram dishes to Lillard. And it's sent back by Turner. Lamb with the ball. He kicks to Joseph. Now here's Lamb. D right on him. Randolph sets a screen for Lamb. Just 5 to shoot. Takes the 13-footer. And again, it's Indiana.
He's just able to shoot over people at a high rate.
But yeah, using his size. That's what I like about his game. He understands where he has the advantage. Then he exploits it.
Lillard, and he gets it to go from the corner. Lillard's got 10 points here in the second half.
He continues to be their go-to guy. If they close this game out, his stamp will be all over this win.
Lamb passes to Hield. And Turner kicks to Hield. Kicked by Randolph. Puts it up from 12. And good. And it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. And that's 17 points for Buddy Hield. Lillard dishes the ball. Picked by Vucevic. Now here's ball. Covered by Hield. It's stolen by Hield. He feeds it to Lamb. There's the pass to Randolph. He dishes it to Lamb. Pass to Hield. This one for 3. Hands it from downtown. Hield's got 7 now in this quarter.
Don't forget, he had a 3 in the first half. He can really hurt you from out there.
Now here's ball. He's guarded closely. Joseph against Lillard. Over Joseph. And again, Damian Lillard. Lillard's got 36.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
And Joseph kicks to Randolph. Turner with the screen. Randolph passes to Lamb. Turner with the screen. Lamb with the ball. Randall on him. No good from Lamb. Los Angeles leading by 11. And it's ball in the corner. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
Wow, that's his 4th 3 of the game. 2 in each half. He has just owned that line.
And Joseph kicks to Randolph. The feed now to Lamb. Back to Randolph. Shoots over Vucevic. The shot, no good. And the Lakers take it the other way. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home.
You can't give any lane to the basket. Once Lillard sees it, he jumps all over it.
Pacers trail by 16. Joseph dishes to Heel. He's looking for Joseph and finds him. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
Oh, he caught him in stride with the lead pass. Now that was timely.
Lillard against Joseph. And Lillard gets double-teamed. Vucevic's screen on Joseph. Lillard the pass to Vucevic. Here's Ingram. Offline with his three.
You see how fast Lonzo got rid of that ball when he heard the shot clock come
as
down?
long as they hang on to the lead.
He didn't want to shoot.
Randolph sets a screen for Joseph. Inside, it's tipped. It's stolen by Vucevic. That's tipped. It's stolen by Lamb. The three. Rebounded by Vucevic. Lakers leading by 14. Over in the corner, Lillard. Vucevic's screen on Joseph. Shot clock at 6. Back to Lillard. Over Joseph. And the Lakers with another miss. Pacers trail by 14. Feeds to Lamb. Now here's Hield, guarded closely. Shoots over ball. And it falls over the rim and in. That's now 22 points for Buddy Hield.
In the mid-range game of Hield is excellent. Always got to play up on him when he has the ball.
Ball kicks to Randall. Now the dish to Ball. Vucevic against Turner. There's the foul. It's on Jeremy Lamb. That is his first foul of the game. The Pacers making a switch here. Morris is checked in. Here's Ingram to the wing on the left. Lillard with it, picked up by Joseph. 6 on the shot clock. Turner with the steal. Fast break, here comes Indiana. That one's in there. The Lakers' lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Hield.
Oh, he has been dominant on offense. Who knows where they'd be in this game without his effort?
Here's the screen. Looking to end the drought. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
The crafty nature of Lillard's game. He's exceptional at tricking defenders, especially with the pump fake.
And the first one at the line is good. And both free throws good for Damian Lillard.
And Damian Lillard, the originator of 4 Bar Friday. Last season, he released the letter O, his album. Featured some pretty big names.
Here's Randolph. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Hield dishes to Turner. Joseph the pass to Turner. To the middle, here's Randolph. Misses from short range. And Lillard with his own music label. He enjoys spending time in the recording studio.
Yeah, music, hip-hop, and the basketball and sports go hand in hand. I mean, his high school coach was also a music producer. So Damian and his teammates had a chance to get in the studio at a young age. Before games, during warm-ups, they play their songs. I mean, that's what athletes do. That's where it all started. I don't know if that was by design or by accident, but the D not paying any attention to him.
Fires the 3. Drains it from beyond the arc. Lillard's got 43 points.
Lillard is a knockdown sniper. He shoots an excellent percentage from the perimeter.
Joseph with the ball. Now guarded by Ingram. Pass to Randall. Turner inside. Randall on him. And Turner kicks to Hield. 59 seconds left in the fourth. Morris outside. Just 5 on the clock. The second chance effort. Lays it up, and in spite of the excellent defense at that.
How about the strength of Morris, shrugging off the D and nailing the shot?
Dishes it to Randall. Good work defensively by Turner. And Joseph kicks to Hield. Lillard against Joseph. Good on the bucket. These guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assisting.
And when everyone's involved offensively, it has a way of helping you on the defensive side as well.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Vucevic setting the pick for Lillard. Down to 5 on the shot clock. They get the rebound. Randall dishes to Vucevic. Back to Randall. And so the Lakers take the win. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity, and this is what they came out to do.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Julius. Now look.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up for